In this video, we'll talk about scholarly publishing and some of the basic information you need to know if you're interested in publishing in scholarly journals while you are enrolled in your graduate program. Publishing at the graduate level is not required of all graduate level programs. For instance, most master's programs do not require publications. However, most doctoral programs will strongly encourage most of their students to go ahead and consider publishing, especially if they may be thinking of becoming an academician themselves after the conclusion of their program. If you're interested with the idea of scholarly publishing, first ask yourself, what are your academic goals? Are you interested in being a contributor to your profession at the practitioner level, or are you interested in creating brand new knowledge towards your field? Or are you more interested in just becoming a consumer and just knowing how to read scholarly work? It's important to know why you want to contribute and to what level you want to contribute before you decide whether you want to continue on this path. You may be interested by pursuing this a little further, but maybe you're not sure about what your research interests are. You may have a very broad area of research interest. However, most people will tell you that you need to always learn how to shrink that down into something that is actually researchable and something that you can manage and something that may be a more long-term line of inquiry. So if you're not really sure about how to shrink it down, or maybe you're even not sure about what your overall interests are, start first by listening to your faculty in classes, especially when they talk about their areas of research interests. Also pay attention to journals that you're reading as part of your class requirements, particularly the limitations and research recommendations section. These sections will also always explore what are the unanswered questions or what are recommendations for how this work can be scaled up or thought about differently. This is a great ground for some burning questions that most people tend to disregard because at the end of a very long journal article, we're all ready to just put that down. So don't disregard those last pages of most journal articles. Connect with older peers in your program. Ask them about what they're interested in, especially if they may be doing research already. Ask them if their teams might be willing or have room to accommodate an extra person. Ask the faculty member who's supervising that research team. This can be a great opportunity to get some applied skills with appropriate supervision. And if you do have such an opportunity to take advantage of, be ready to do the work and be ready to take the feedback and the criticism that comes with learning a new skill set, and that comes with learning a new way to present what you're learning and what you're doing, especially because your audience will always change depending on where and what you're publishing. So it's going to be very important to learn through this experience how to package what you do for a variety of consumers. The decision to publish should not be made lightly. Consult your supervisor, but also other faculty who know your work, who are active in publishing, or who have graduate students who have successfully published. You can also check out relevant workshops, seminar series in your own and related departments, or conferences. But be forewarned that you may get differing advice. Some faculty who may be active publishers may also push their students to actively publish, whereas others may feel that you should take more time and focus on your classes. As a graduate student, your program may or may not expect you to actually publish, and for some programs, they may expect you to publish a lot. So do not submit any pieces until you know what the expectations are. If you are interested in submitting a piece, always make sure that you've received appropriate feedback and editing help from your supervisor or from another faculty member. When you are publishing your work, this is your calling card and your announcement to the wider community, and you are making a push to convince them that you are a serious intellectual making a very serious contribution to your field. So don't publish prematurely. Poor articles, even if they do get published, would not help your career. You also need to aim to publish an article or two in a peer-reviewed scholarly journal. You need to know which journals in your field are considered the most scholarly or the most prestigious, also known as selectivity. Know the reputation of more specialized or regionally based journals and multidisciplinary journals. This will build a crucial skill set because you'll need to adapt your work for different audiences. When you write a scholarly article, you should generally aim at crafting a well-integrated essay that situates your work in relation to the existing scholarship and demonstrates a capacity for original research and perceptive interpretation. In most cases, and certainly with peer-refereed journals or other refereed volumes, your submitted essay will go through a confidential process of evaluation by recognized specialists in the field. Each confidential assessor, and this number can vary from 2, 3, or more, will provide feedback and they recommend whether your submission should be considered for publication or not. You will generally receive one of 3 decisions. Your paper will either be rejected, it will be asked that you significantly revise it and then resubmit it for another review, or it may be accepted for publication without any other revisions. This last category is generally the less and the most scarce one that is ever given. Getting published, first and foremost, is a very important achievement, so you should definitely be proud of yourself. But as you get that feedback or as you may get a deny, do not let that discourage you. Just know that it just takes a little bit more work. And for every crumpled up submission, there will be one that will be accepted. This video was just a quick and basic introduction to scholarly publishing and some considerations that you should take into account before you undertake this adventure. If you are interested in learning more, drop us an email at the address you see on the screen. That is cehdgss@louisville.edu. And of course, another great place to begin would be with your faculty advisor.